What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Gamer Gains. Today we have a special episode featuring one of my good friends, CustomChief.
What up?
Today we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and doing a quick comparison. We'll be talking about launch titles, storage, backwards compatibility, and a whole bunch more to get you ready for the launch of the next-gen consoles. So with that, let's get right into it.
All right, so what I kind of want to start with is honestly Xbox, because obviously we're both mainly Xbox channels, so that's where our expertise lies. What do you think Xbox has an edge over PlayStation this time?
So storage is really a big topic that Xbox beats out PlayStation. The Xbox Series X is labeled with a 1 terabyte hard drive, but in reality, after your operating system and all your other stuff, it's going to be around 820 gigabytes or so. And the PlayStation 5, while it's labeled at 825 gigabytes, it's only going to have around 650 workable gigabytes, which is insanely low compared to even like a last-gen console. Like the Xbox One X, I think, is standard 1 terabyte. So that's going to be an issue for some of the PlayStation gamers there.
Yeah, definitely want to go ahead and touch on like storage is a big deal, especially with games being like around like almost 200 gigs now. Like Modern Warfare is way too big of a game, especially just if you want to play Warzone. It's like I think 170 gigabytes just to play. After storage, I want to go ahead and talk about launch titles, because like, does any console really have an edge with launch titles?
Yeah, the only launch title I can even think of that's not a third party is Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PlayStation 5, which looks like a really great game, really nice graphics, and seems really fluid. But yeah, the Xbox, once it lost Halo, it really doesn't have anything special as far as a new game to come out for the launch title of the Series X.
Yeah, and they just delayed the medium or whatever that game is to January.
Yeah.
So it's not a launch title. Their biggest exclusive, though, I would add on is actually, I think Game Pass could be considered a certain exclusive, like, because PlayStation Plus is not as good as Game Pass. We're definitely getting games like Jedi Fallen Order on Game Pass. A lot of games from EA Play, like you'll be able to play the Battlefield franchise for Game Pass, and like that's cheaper than buying 3 games a year, and you get like almost 500 games. Like that's a big edge in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Game Pass is definitely like the best deal in gaming right now, if you like to play lots of these other games. But yeah, so PlayStation really only has Spider-Man right now, at least in November. And like you said, with those other games getting delayed, everything's being delayed due to COVID right now and development issues.
Yeah, what I do want to touch on is backwards compatibility. I think that's the most, a lot of people care about it. Like, obviously, front and center backwards compatibility. At the end of the day, if it's out, it's not a big deal for most people. But how much do you think backwards compatibility is for the Xbox? Does it really, because Xbox, I heard it's backwards compatibility wise, you can put in an old Xbox disc from like 2002 and start playing that game. Is that an edge over PlayStation now, or do you think that's just like kind of gimmicky?
I for sure think it's an edge, and the new Xbox has definitely kind of defined one of their huge launch strategies as the backwards compatibility. Especially if you missed out on the Xbox One era, there are still tons of great games available that will be playable on the Series X. I think they said every Xbox One title will be playable. Yeah. So like if you missed out on Destiny 2 or I don't know, there's so many, literally every game, if you missed out on something, it'll be available.
Yeah. And then also I see that PS5 just only has, like, they do have a lot of games from the PS4 carrying over, but they only will add them if they're optimized. Like I've heard that a lot of PS4 games just might not work, and I think that's really strange from Sony, because going to PS2, I think the PS3, I think it was like full backwards compatible or something.
Yeah,
I've heard, and then like it's weird how they kind of went backwards on that. I think Sony's idea is that if we just have a bunch of good exclusives, that's how our console will sell.
Yeah, and just something interesting real quick, when the Xbox One launched, it actually wasn't backwards compatible at all, and they were able to make software updates over the next couple of years to make it backwards compatible with a lot of Xbox 360 games. So it's not out of the question that the PS5 is going to do the same thing, but for its launch, the Xbox is, marketing itself to be fully backwards compatible, minus a few original Xbox games, but just something interesting there.
Mm-hmm. What I do think, I'm going to go ahead and this is a opinionated statement right here, but with Xbox, recently Xbox buying Bethesda, Halo Infinite coming out, I do believe Halo Infinite is still going to be an amazing game. Like, my channel's based off of Halo Infinite at this point. So it's like, of course I want it to do well, but I think Xbox is definitely going to have the advantage over Sony in 5 years. But now, if you want exclusives now and you want the next gen experience now, I would honestly recommend going PlayStation. For the short term, the next 3 years, PlayStation's going to have crazy good games. God of War, I think, is coming out next year. A new Uncharted, obviously. You have Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And right now, Xbox doesn't really have anything besides Halo Infinite. But in 5 years, when Game Pass gets more games, when Bethesda starts pumping out a new Doom, a new Fallout, like, you have to realize that the Bethesda they bought, they're switching up management, making Bethesda much more efficient. They got more budget. They're getting a new engine for the new Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. Like, Starfield is going to be an Xbox exclusive probably. Like, Xbox in a few years I feel like is going to be on top. So if you want to invest in the long term, I would recommend the Series S and X. But if you just want the next gen experience right now, get the PS5, because there isn't a big enough reason for the Series X just yet. It's a great console. It's just like, if you have an Xbox One X or a nice PC, there isn't a reason to upgrade just yet.
Yeah, like you said, if you have the Xbox One X, the upgrade is significant, but because there isn't, a whole host of new games to play, it really won't feel like that next gen upgrade.
Because I have a One X right now and I'm playing games just fine. Like, some games still play at like 4K, and like, at the end of the day, I don't care too much about 4K.
Yeah. Like, one of my friends, he actually got his Series X early. They shipped it to him in the mail incorrectly. So he's been playing it the past couple days, and he notices like the speed and the graphical difference and stuff, but he's like, there's no games to play right now, which I mean is early, so they wouldn't be out yet anyway. But with the next big game is like Cyberpunk, and that's still over a month away because it got delayed for like the 20th time. But
that game's gonna be the next gen game for both PS5 and Xbox. That game's probably gonna look amazing. I think it's gonna run like crap on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
the thing will blow up.
When Halo comes out, everyone's gonna be, the Xbox Series X is gonna sell out again, I think, because
I hope so. I hope they hype up Halo Infinite, but that's a topic for another day. If you want more Halo stuff, make sure to come to my channel. But if you want more Xbox stuff, definitely go into Gamer Gains. There definitely will be a link below for that.
I mean, the box of the Xbox Series X literally has Master Chief, like, he's the entire back of the box. So they were completely planning for it to be like, this is the Halo box. Like, if you want to play
the Halo era of Xbox.
Literally.
Like, Halo is back. It's front and center again.
All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's episode of Gamer Gains. Huge shout out to CustomChief for coming on the show with me. Make sure to... Oh, shit, I bumped my mic. Oh, God. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of Gamer Gains. Huge shout out to my friend CustomChief, and he has a lot of really great Xbox ideas like you heard in the video. Make sure to go sub to him and check out all of his videos for Halo Infinite news. This man is on the grind. He posts his 1, 2, sometimes 3 videos a day. He just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is like insane. He's more than tripled in the past month, so go check him out and support him. He's a really great guy. So that's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.